How the hell did we come up with this idea, by the way? What are we doing here today?
Well, today we are going to be going through our top 5 leadership tips for you. So hopefully we want you to walk away with some ahas. And Kim and I, we've worked together for on and off, 20 years?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. So we thought it was high time that we do something together that would be an inspiration for you. So we should start with the top 5.
I was asked to do a presentation on leadership recently on my top 5 leadership lessons learned during my career. And I thought, that's a hell of a good topic. I like that. And it took a while for me to actually think about it because I've learned a lot over the years, failed on lots of things, which really is how lessons happen, right?
Yeah.
But so I developed this list of 5, and I know you've got a list of 5. I'll start with my number 5 here.
Perfect.
We'll do a Letterman style countdown, right? Wonder how many people remember David Letterman, top 5. Probably not many. Number 5, what I learned over the years, superior technical skills and a title doesn't make you a leader. So, and I see that in the professions out there quite a bit, in accounting, law, especially medicine. If all of a sudden you come out, you're a doctor.
Yeah.
Apparently you're smart. Well, there's no question you're smart. The issue though is, are you a leader? And just because you have a title, like a partner in a law firm, partner in an accounting firm, or you're a sole practitioner in an accounting firm, I can buy smart. And frankly, over the years, I've bought lots of smart people. And how do I do that? Well, I just hire them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make those smart people, or me for that matter, a good leader. And so leadership, in my view, is much more than a title and a position. And so that, I think, took a while for me to learn, especially me, because I like to think I'm rather intelligent, at least I hope I am. But I learned quickly that just because I'm smart doesn't make me a leader. So that was, and I got more to say on that later, but that was my thoughts on that.
Kim, I think that's really, really wise. Kim, I totally agree. Most people, they're promoted with technical skills, but they haven't actually been taught how to lead. And here's the magic though. The magic is that everybody can learn leadership skills. That's the magic.
You're not born a leader. I hate this whole thing of you're either a leader or you're not. That's bullshit. You can learn leadership skills.
Okay, so now here's where it's going to get juicy because we're going to have some very different perspectives. And my number 5 in terms of leadership is I'm going to lean on the research of Dr. Julian Barling, who's one of the top researchers in the world. What the research study did is they separated 2 groups of people into 2 different boardrooms. The first boardroom, people were told, you are leaders. The second boardroom, people were told, you are followers. So you have one boardroom where people are being told they're leaders, another boardroom where people have been told they're followers. Then they looked at the behavior of the people in the 2 different boardrooms. And super fascinating. Those that were told they were followers, when an emergency situation, a hypothetical, it wasn't real, it was under research guidelines, an emergency situation emerged, the people who were told they were followers did nothing. Whereas those who were told they were leaders, they activated their leadership. But number 5 is believe you are a leader. And to Kim's point, the most highly effective leaders are the most self-aware leaders. So you also need to know what you don't know.
Yeah. And
you need to listen both to your internal wisdom and to your external guidance. So number 5 for me is believe. And with so many people, I can't tell you how many people suffer from, and this men and women and everything in between, suffer from imposter syndrome. What we need to have some kind of belief that we can lead. My number 4 is inspiring. And let me tell you why I think this is so important. It is so important because I've made so many mistakes around it. So very specifically, imagine this. I'm around the boardroom with I'm a serial entrepreneur with an incredible team. And I'm like, okay, team, here's our vision. And I kind of rammed it down the team's throat. I'm like, here's what we're going to do. Rah, rah, team. Go, go, team. And I thought I was being super inspiring. Okay, so we leave that strategy session. I'm feeling very, very good about it. And I'm like, oh, this team's amazing. We brought in somebody from Denmark to work with us because there was nobody in Canada doing what we were doing. And the first question the facilitator asked is, what is your vision? And I just thought, I got all kind of proud and kind of boastful inside. I'm like, oh, the team just has this. They just have it nailed. Well, nobody raised their hands. That night, I cried myself to sleep and I thought about what a terrible leader I was. Because I came to realize in that moment, I didn't inspire people, and that one of Margaret Wheatley's principles is people support what they create. So I actually needed to help build in the whole team into the process of creating vision rather than dictating what the vision was. So my number 4, and then from there on, no one ever forgot the vision because we created one together and then we reinforced it together. And that's the other thing about vision and values. You need to reinforce. So my number 4 is inspiring, and the action, everything. I'm all about what is the smallest thing we can do. And the action is, I believe every leader needs to have a clear team vision that everybody is into and can articulate. The majority of teams that I work with or we work with, when I ask the leaders what the vision is, typically it's me over here, me. No one really knows. So that's where we begin. And I know because I've made so many mistakes.
So one thing I took away from your number 4 was that, yeah, I agree that you have to be inspirational. Like people have to want to follow. People, in order to be an effective leader, in my view, people have to want to follow you,
Yes.
right? But I think certainly I made the similar mistake back then, is that, hey, as long as I come up with the vision, I come up with the ideas,
Yes.
people are going to want to follow.
No.
Involved.
Yes.
And you can still be inspirational. You have to be inspirational.
Yeah.
It has to be, it can't be a one-way street. So I think that's really good. You want my number 4?
Yeah, what's your number 4?
And my number 4 is being likable as a leader is not the objective.
Ooh, tell me more about that one.
Do you need to be likable to be a good leader? So what, do you think you need to be likable? Keyword is need. Do you need to be likable to be a good leader? Yes or no?
The answer is no, you do not need to be likable. Yes, respected, not liked.
Obviously being likable is helpful. And if you're likable, people are going to be more apt to want to follow. No question about it. But is being likable the objective of being a good leader? No, for the reasons that you said. So I was mentoring one of my former colleagues. A really kind person, really good person, and smart. And so we ended up promoting this person to be a leader in a particular facet of our firm. And ultimately did a not bad job, but all of a sudden there was a ceiling. And the reason why this particular person at the top of the agenda was being likable. That was the sole motivation of being the leader, was, well, Kim, if I make that decision, I'm not going to be liked. I'm going to be not respected anymore. No, Mr. X, you as a leader need to learn how to make the tough decisions. And in some cases, it's very, very lonely at the top. My conclusion is likable is helpful. Who doesn't like a good person?
Right.
But is it the objective of being a good leader? Absolutely not.
Our connection to other people is very, very, very important. I think it's very important for me. I like to be liked, and for me, it's more important to be deep than liked. Whereas for me, it's really important to be kind, which isn't always nice.
Number 3.
Yes.
All right. I learned this from my senior coach days. It was one of the first things they taught me. They called it the 3 golden rules. Leaders need to practice. Do what you say is number 1. Number 2, show up on time. And number 3, say please and thank you. So what's the one word that would encompass those 3 golden rules?
Respect. Number 3 is individualized consideration. I was at a big event, and there were 3 university presidents who talked about what were the most powerful things they did in their careers. And this really, really, really struck me, that one of the university presidents said, every night at the end of the day, I write 5 thank you notes to individuals with the specific reasons why they added value to our organization and why they were important. I think this is a real missing piece in organizations. We need to really think about what is the smallest thing you can do to recognize someone else and also to adapt to that cultural focus.
I think it's great. I think you got to be careful by being too individualized, especially as the group of people that you lead grows in numbers. And I struggled with this. I think I was a really good leader of 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. But as I got to the 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 people that, in my firm, it was more of a struggle for me, mainly because I didn't know everybody. I think it's very critical. It comes down to empathy.
Number 2 is intellectual stimulation and values. And what I also put is break the rules. Because what I've just done is I have listed 3 things. Really, we need to intellectually stimulate, and that is, Kim, what you were talking about. Ask questions, get people involved, get engaged. And yet I think we need an anchor to what are our values. And we have to be willing to break. And what's interesting in healthy teams that we work with, we actually have somebody assigned as devil's advocate to question, so that there's not this kind of just assumption to go with the flow of the team. So we need to be able to challenge each other and challenge our thinking in a kind way to create better solutions.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so you're number 2.
What's my number 2? And I learned this the hard way, okay? Which is interesting, but transparency and authenticity is critical. I think leaders need to be transparent, not too transparent. Like obviously you can't give up confidential information, but the people that follow them and look up to them shouldn't be guessing as to what they're doing and where they're taking them. In other words, the vision needs to be very transparent. Number 1 is to be intentional about your leadership style, your leadership leverage and legacy, your leadership brand, and your leadership culture. So I'll give you a little taste of what my style is. My leadership style is transparent honesty in everything I do, never settle, do it right. Passionate about challenging the status quo, empathetic empowerment for sustainable growth and excellent profits. My leverage and legacy, which is number 2, develop critical thinkers by inspiring examples. Strategic philanthropy, both for community and the profession, is an ingrained culture, and intentionally smarter. My brand is intellectual rebel, focused on continuous improvement. Thought leadership for teammates and peers, passionate preacher for positive change and results. My leadership culture, always mindful of my humble roots to assist with empathetic leadership examples. And I'm an aggressive knowledge seeker, eager to learn. Do what I say, show up on time, say please and thank you, goal respect, right?
Yes.
And then always do the right thing, be the first to admit mistakes and assume responsibility, and quiet philanthropic examples. So in other words, be intentional. For me to even come up with that took me 4 full days of various drafts. And it was 4 8-hour days of being intentional about what do I want from my leadership style, leveraging legacy, brand, and culture. It was tough. And I've had this in front of me for the last 14 years as I continue to build up my leadership style, brand, and culture, legacy, and brand. So there you go. That's lesson number 1.
Amazing. Not surprisingly, it's quite aligned with my number 1. Number 1 is be present with intention.
There you go.
The majority of leaders do not have a personal intention. And either we have a personal intention, we either lead with intention or we will be led.
Like before I wrote this down and I have it all framed in my office now, I didn't have an intention.
And then what are we at the whims of? We're at the whims of our external environment.
Completely.
So back to the whole kind of be grounded in values. So those are some real takeaways for you.
I've got a bonus. So my bonus leadership lesson that I've learned over the years is to have a morning routine. Exercise, eat healthy all of the time. Because if you have a morning routine, you're prepared, you're healthy, and you're ready for those that you serve. If you're not healthy, both up here,
yes,
and physically,
yes,
I mean, look at me, I'm physical. Kidding, of course, I'm kidding, but then you're not worth it to anybody that you lead, and
yes,
most importantly, your family, if you have family members, right?
Yes.
And so there's a lot of studies done on this, about leaders that have a routine.
Yes.
Successful.
Yes.
Do you have a morning routine?
I do. My morning routine is to meditate and to do my practice every morning.
What time?
It's not a set time, it's right as soon as I wake up. So if I have to be up and out for 7, it's 5:30. If it's a weekend, it's whenever I get up. Well, what's your morning routine?
Okay, so I get up at 4:30 in the morning. And I go to my workout in Orange Theory for 5:15.
And it was his 700th workout today? Is that right?
Yep. So
700, impressive.
So I do Orange Theory, which is a tough workout. And then I come back, of course, get cleaned up. I do a meditation. And then I go to work. But sorry, I missed one. So I do a meditation and then I write down the 5 things that I'm grateful for the day before.
Oh, that one I didn't know.
Yeah. And I also do that every Sunday as well for the week. So that is my morning routine. So take care of my body, take care of my mind, and then practice some gratitude.
That's taking care of your heart.
Right.
Body, mind, and heart.
And
There
then,
we go.
and then 3 things that I gotta do so I write down things I'm grateful for, 5,
Mm.
and then 3 things that I have to get done in the day. Thank you, Catherine, for the great conversation. All right.
Bye for now.